Hello all, this is Halloween, and if you love haunted history and cemeteries as much as I do, you may want to subscribe because I'm going to be taking you somewhere new every week. Today we're headed back to Tampa. We're going to go visit the Orange Hill Cemetery. Now, I haven't been able to find out a lot online about this cemetery, but it's intriguing because it is a historic cemetery. Burials in there date back all the way to 1929. Let's get over there. Enjoy. We're here at ABC Pizza. I had a hankering for a Greek salad. Let's go in and get a bite to eat. We had the honor of talking to Pamela. She is the manager of the grounds here, and she has a lot of family buried here as well. She said that this cemetery was established sometime in the 1800s. I'm going to say it was probably the late 1800s, being that the oldest cemetery in Tampa is actually Oak Lawn Cemetery, established in 1850. So if I had to guess, it'd probably be 1860s or 1870s when this one was established, still making it one of the oldest in Tampa. But there are a lot of burials here, and there's a lot of ground to cover. It's a pretty windy day here in Tampa, and it's cold outside, which is not usually my ideal weather for a cemetery stroll, but here it is, late March, and it's nippy outside today. The grounds are pretty gorgeous to walk around in. There's a nice little path here if you just want to walk through and look at some of the beautiful headstones and statues. There's some mausoleums here. What you want to be mindful of is there are quite a few ant beds. So if you're walking around and you're visiting your loved ones or coming here to visit, to look around, just be mindful of the ant beds. Make sure you're not standing in one, while you're looking at the headstones. Look here. Oh wow, this one has not been entered into yet. It's like that has the making of a pretty nice little mausoleum here. Wow, I've never seen one empty like that. Wow, that's neat. So they stick the casket right in there. Well, that's good. They're all still alive and kicking. That's great news. But this is a really beautiful mausoleum, the way the bricks are and everything. Very pretty. Doesn't even have a name on it. Oh, this one's beautiful. Zimmerman. That's beautiful. I love when they have the pictures of the departed on the outside. That's so neat. You're going to see a lot of those here as well. There are a lot of those here. Here are the Rubens. That's beautiful as well. Yolanda and Jose Rubin. The marble is just really pretty. Yeah, when I was looking online, I was looking at the burials here, and they had, the oldest one I could see online was on Find a Grave, and it was 1929, but there are definitely burials dating back further than that here. There's really a lot of neat older headstones. It's very quiet and peaceful here. Nestled in with a whole bunch of other cemeteries. These are all really nice. If you want to just go for a full day and look at all the cemeteries, this little area of Tampa is a great place to come and look at some historic cemeteries. And always just make sure you're respectful when you come to a cemetery. If you're not sure what cemetery etiquette is, you can look online. There's a whole list of cemetery etiquette. You know, what you can and cannot do, or should or shouldn't do when you're in a cemetery. The lady that I was speaking with, Pamela, said they're very serious about their cemetery. And so it's important to understand that a lot of people feel that way. When they take care of the grounds, they care about it a lot. So make sure you're always respectful when you come to the cemetery. Here are some older headstones here. These are cute, the little heart. There's 1933. There's that Sally name again. It's spelled just like my name, but with an S. We're all the way on the right side of the cemetery, up close to the fence, and there are some that are all the way up here near the fence. So I wanted to get in here and see. This says, Our Darling O'Neill Wilson. 1936 to 1940. This was a baby. Oh. Looks like there's another baby over here too. We have some veterans here. World War II veterans I've seen. This one's fairly new, 2009. She passed. I guess her nickname was Patty Duke. Remember the Patty Duke show?
Nope.
I ain't talking to you. Oh, this is the baby area. Oh, look how cute the little ledger. 1884 to 87, I believe it says. Mary Lou Carley. Oh. Look at all of the little ones. Heading over to the other side of the cemetery. Yeah, ants can be a problem in any cemetery this time of year when the grounds are dry because we haven't had a lot of rain. The ants are plentiful, so that's probably something to be mindful of in any cemetery that you visit around, you know, spring and summertime. Look at this. This is neat. I call these capsule burials, but I don't know if this qualifies as a ledger. It's more of a burial vault. But this is cool. It's like maybe a whole family. Or maybe 3 different families here. But I think they look so neat. This lady, her name was Pansy. Probably named for the flower, pansies. Pansy A. Rager. Passed in 2000. Still very well loved, as you can see. What amazes me about this cemetery and what I'm really enjoying is that kind of peppered throughout the cemetery are the older headstones, like a lot older. You've got new, old throughout the cemetery. So if you like that sort of variety, you're going to get a lot of that kind of thing here when you come to this cemetery, because there's no shortage of old headstones in here, which I love. Here's another Paget. I know a Paget. This is an Ernest and Mary Paget. Here is a Ethel Lee Paget. And another Paget, Bessie and Ernestine Paget. We got a lot of Pagets over here. This one was kind of different to me. Here lies Miss Lena H. Getzy, born New Year's Day 1871, died New Year's Day 1943, and it just says resting. She died on our birthday. You know what? I've often thought of that for myself, you know. I love October so much. I'd be okay. Well, not this October, but you know what I mean. When it's my time to go, I wouldn't mind also passing in the month of October. Just, you know, maybe like many years from now. I thought this was really neat, the way that's inscribed. That's different looking. This is the Plews family? Cool. There are a lot of babies in the cemetery as well. And they're in different areas, but together. So this is another baby area here. And there's this beautiful section over here. This section over here has gotten a lot of love. I bet somewhere in here is where Miss Pamela's family is buried, because they are clearly very well taken care of over here. Beautiful. I love how they made the heart with the rocks there. And we got over here. Looks very pretty, very nice. You can tell that they change the flowers out regularly, and it's very well maintained back in here. 2022 here, 2022 there as well, 2021. So these are all very newer burials. Here's one of 2020. This is beautiful. He's too young. We'll hold you in our hearts until we can hold you again in heaven. In loving memory of a beloved son and brother, dedicated father and grandfather. Oh, he looks very young in that picture. Too young to be a grandfather. But he was. He looks like a lovable guy. Pretty. Look at how precious this is. I'm going to take a still shot of this one over here. We're approaching now what I believe to be on the left-hand side is a much newer side of the cemetery here. It looks like all the headstones are pretty new, but sometimes they have some really gorgeous ornate headstones, the newer ones. Let's see what we find over here. This over here is a really beautiful section of the cemetery. You're going to see a lot of newer headstones, but they're also very ornate and unique looking. Every single one is different and beautiful. And the sad thing, and it's kind of breaking my heart right now, but there's a lot of young people. There's a lot of young people here. That's, you know, kind of devastating. You think, why, you know? Why so young? I always wonder. And you never know. It's just, you know, God's timing. Again, you know, when you're born into the earth, you have a start date and a finish date, a sunrise and a sunset before you're even born. And that day's already determined for you. And that's the only thing that can bring me peace, is that, you know, there's really nothing we can do. It's all about the soul journey, you know, and our time here on earth. And it's fleeting, you know, it's fleeting. And for some of us more than others. So look how beautiful this is. She must have loved purple. But there are a lot of burials here, lots to see. If you want to come and take a look, just make sure you're very respectful. You know, if there's someone here visiting a loved one, you don't want to disturb them. You know, give them their space and their time. So there was a man just over here, and he was talking out loud to whoever he was here to visit. So I tried to kind of stay away from, you know, let him have his time before I came over here and observed. But yeah, I would recommend coming here. It's a beautiful place to visit, and we're gonna be getting out of here pretty soon. There's been so much to see here. It's just been really nice to walk through. We could come back here again and see a whole bunch we didn't see before. So it's definitely a larger cemetery, and everything's so unique and special. To close, I wanted to finish with this here, and hopefully they don't mind if I read this. This is so great. And it kind of made me chuckle a little bit. But 5K Dre here. His name was Kundre Marjani Mitchell Jr., born August 2002 and passed in August 2021. And it kind of goes along with what I was saying before. So, while dealing with the way my world has come to an end, you have to continue to trust God and remember the time we've spent. My mom, dad, sisters, and little bro already know to carry me in your hearts. We will always be close. My physical being is no longer with you, but through the grace of God, I'm still spiritually with you. Please don't mourn me, bro. Just continue to tell the world that I was one of the realest jits you'll ever know. Trust and believe. I am not lost. I am just being a mini boss, living biblically, standing with a cross. God has me. Sincerely, 5K Dre. Truest in the game. Ain't it the truth? I mean, that was marvelous, and a great way to end our little walk through the cemetery today. My chariot awaits, but it's been a wonderful stroll through the cemetery today. I may even come back to this one. I really enjoyed it. There was a lot of really neat things to see, a lot of really cool poetry and sayings on headstones that was unique to that person, and artwork and all kinds of things. And a Betty Boop headstone even. I mean, I've never seen that before in my life. That was awesome. So, a lot of really unique characters buried here in this cemetery. People with a sense of humor, people that had a zest for life, and it's really a cool thing to see. Let's get out of this cemetery. My leg's hating me right now. See you at the next one. Thank you so much for joining me again today. I hope you loved today's episode. I hope you don't mind a little cemetery etiquette talk. Sometimes when I don't have a lot of history on the cemetery, I'll kind of go into some, some of that sort of stuff. But it's still always important when you're visiting the cemeteries to keep in mind that these are people's loved ones, and to always be respectful and, quiet and mindful of others that are around visiting their loved ones, especially if you're like me and you're there, taking photos or talking about the history. You don't want to be like in someone's space when they're visiting their loved ones. Kind of be mindful of that and respectful of others. But I'm sure y'all are. Anyway, that does it for today's episode. I'll see you next time.